I'm Kev Bevan. I work for SRUC in Scotland as an economist. Today looking at Suckler cow performance, in particular the important role that sucklers play on Welsh farms. In particular, we wanted to look at what Welsh farmers can do to improve the performance of their sucklers. What I'm going to show you first of all is recent profitability of Welsh upland farms. These figures are taken from the Farm Business Survey, which is completed by Aberystwyth each year. We're looking at farms where the sucklers are mainly rearing rather than finishing. Important point is that last year was a particularly good year for sucklers, and as you can see by the figures, the average profitability was just under £38,000. Excluding the single payment, the profitability was nearly £11,000, which was a very good achievement. The actual top third did quite a bit better than that, achieving overall profitability of nearly £75,000, and excluding single farm payment, that was about £38,000 profit. Again, very good figures, and actually compare very well to the level of profitability achieved in Scotland, despite Welsh farms being quite a bit smaller. The next slide looks at enterprise performance, and this is where we drill down and actually see how the cows are doing as compared to the sheep. Now, if we look at the margins for the upland sucklers, we can see that the average was £338 per cow. Again, this is notably up on recent years and driven by good calf prices. The top third of performers actually achieved just over £500. Now, on these farms, more of the calves are actually taken through and finished. But besides actually achieving higher cattle sales, these farms have a better control over their costs as well, in particular concentrates and forage costs. Now remember that gross margins do exclude fixed costs, so you have to take those into account as well. Performance in this most recent year, just finished in 2012, is likely to have been somewhat back on that previous year. Despite continued good cattle sales, a lot of the problem, of course, has been the poor weather which affected growth rates last year, and also the high feed costs because of the extra long winter. Basically, at the current point, suckler margins will probably be back somewhat. Now, what are the factors, the technical factors that lead to good levels of performance? A particular efficiency factor we like to calculate is the weaning efficiency, and that's basically the relationship between the kilograms of calf weaned to cow weight at weaning of about 200 days. Now, what we're looking for, what we find, is that satisfactory performance is where between 40 and 45% of the cow's weight is weaned as calf. If you're achieving between 46 and 50%, that's good, and it's exceptional if you're weaning over half the cow's weight. Now, besides that efficiency, we also look strongly at cost control. We're a grass-based industry, so it's very important to achieve good performance at grass. So that's a key area where good farmers manage to drive better performance. As important is wintering costs and the importance of body condition for helping reduce the cost of wintering. Of course, very difficult in a year where we've basically had a 6 or 7 month winter. But using body condition is a very important way with spring calvers of trying to minimise winter costs. The final point, of course, with cows is trying to maintain a lower fixed cost structure, so the importance of good machinery, but keeping that very much in balance with the overall profitability of the farm. The final very important factor is achieving good calf sales. So it's really a matter of trying to beat the market on that day of sale. Very important to produce a good line of calves, so we have that kind of peas in a pod effect. And very importantly as well, where the good genetics of the calves you produce are benefit the end finisher. And we often see successful suckle farmers are actually their calves are keenly bid for each year. So to sum up, given the possibility that the cap reform will lead to a reduction in the single payment over the next 5 to 10 years, it's important to be squeezing profitability and performance out of our suckler herds, and with that we'll continue to improve the profitability of Welsh upland farms.
My name's George Caldo. I'm a vet with SAC Consulting in Scotland, and I'm here to talk about managing beef cow herd performance. There's a relatively low level of efficiency in beef cow herds in the UK, with about 87 to 89 calves produced per 100 cows. And there are two fundamental aspects of beef cow production. Firstly, you want to get as many cows in calf as possible, and secondly, when they calf, you want to keep as many of them alive as possible. The target for this is to wean 95 calves per 100 cows mated, and to achieve this objective, consistent planning and attention to management is essential. The management blueprint is the 5-point plan. The 5-point plan, we start with heifer management, and the objective of the heifer management programme is to ensure that we get cows that are well grown and fit for purpose. Heifers reach their target bulling weights and are selected on their ability to calve easily by using bulls which have their EBV is positive for indirect calving rates. Nutritional management is the second of the points in the 5-point plan, and here we're harnessing the cow's ability to store reserves from the grazing season and use that throughout the whole production cycle. And the target is to calve cows in body condition score slightly above condition score 2, and then to be rising plane of nutrition through to calving, so that we're hitting target condition score 2.5 by mating. And at that time, achieving that condition score, most cows will be bulling and able to produce good fertility. The third point is avoiding difficult calvings, and this is achieved by selecting bulls for direct calving ease and gestation length, and also ensuring that cows are not overfit at calving time. So as I've said already, body condition score 2+. And then the fourth point is bull fertility. You won't get cows in calf if you don't have fertile bulls. And then all around the world, when the work's been done on this, about a quarter of the bulls to a fifth of the bulls are actually subfertile. So it's essential to have breeding soundness examinations done and to exclude those bulls which are of inferior fertility. And finally, we move to health management. And most of the health problems can be avoided or controlled through a preventive approach to managing these issues. And this is best approached through health planning, where you sit down with your vet, review the production cycle, and ensure that all the disease risks are addressed and managed appropriately. Our philosophy is that collection and review of production data underpins success and is a key element in the management cycle of the beef cow herd. The source of this information is often the calving diary, recording not just the calving date, but also the ease of calving, the degree which the calf needed to be assisted, what the body condition score of the cow was at calving. And from this, you can find the root cause of any infertility problem in the herd and relate that back to the 5-point plan, and so fine-tune your process. Similarly, a simple analysis for calf deaths is to look at the age when they died. Most of the calves in the suckler herd die within the first 72 hours of life, and most of this can be related back to calving issues, which in turn can be managed to a good degree. Farming Connect is currently funding health planning to the tune of 80% of the total cost, and the challenge you have is to use health planning to increase the production efficiency of your herd.